All right, all right, all right. Ah, how's everybody doing? Huh? Hopefully we keep our internet today. Jeez. How we doing? We got Icy, Colin, and Mike in the house. How's everybody doing? Yeah, the Lamborghini rides again. Lamborghini, we needed some depth scoring. We absolutely, it's about damn time. Gave up on the third line trying to get goals, so the fourth line had to take over for us. That's it, man. You got to find ways to get 2 points. I was happy to see it. Happy to see it happen. AJ says, "What's up, everyone?" The fourth line was buzzing. There was intensity. They even had them out against Ovi. Yeah. Ovechkin. I don't know if they showed it to y'all because we live close to DC, so we end up with the Capitals feed, and a couple of times they showed Ovechkin going off the ice after shifts, and he was gassed. I don't know if they were showing that on the Bally's broadcast or not, but there was a couple of times he looked like me huffing and puffing out there. Hey, JC Metal. Yeah, it was weird, Metal. Because like for the last minute, I was trying to interact with you guys, and I kept getting the warning that not just the internet. It kept saying no internet, and then it would come back, and it would say no internet, and it would come back, and then um, it just finally went out on me. So we should be good today as long as nobody hits any poles. We should be good. We should be good. Hey, Praga, how you doing, bud? Yeah, it's always a good night when Lomberg scores, right? Look, we got to continue to find a way to get points, man. I mean, I know technically we could probably lose every game the rest of the way and still make it. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but I'm sure that's how the guys feel, you know. Um, I mean, I'm sure you all are feeling it. It's like, can we just what was it, April 15th? What day did the playoffs start? Can we just skip this part and get to the playoffs? I mean, we're all ready, right? Vincent says he can have an off-season record still possible. Well, I'm not saying I'm not even talking about his play so much, Vincent. I haven't really been. I mean, I'm the one that I got killed in my video where I said that he wasn't overrated. And if you look at the comments in that video, there's like 3 or 4 people that disagree with me, saying he is overrated. But I just was wondering more along the lines of if they showed the same thing on the Bally's broadcast that they showed. In other words, on our broadcast, the Washington, it seemed like they were purposefully showing him on the bench like that. So I was interested to see if they showed you guys the same thing. Chris says 2 games in a row. Ekblad sucks to not get called for a penalty. Should have been one of the stars. Well, they called plenty of penalties yesterday. It was, of course, they called a bunch of penalties in the beginning of the game, right? The first period, especially, and then they called basically nothing, and with 3 minutes left, they called us. I forget which penalty that was that they called us. Um, with like with like 3 minutes left, they got us for something. I forget what it was, but we end up killing it off. And then obviously we get the empty netter, so we're good to go. Mike says Ovi with the major embellishment on the little stick tap after the face-off late in the third, trying to get the power play. Yeah, yep. Praga says I'm excited to see what additional growth will emerge during these last 30 games or so. I mean, hey Trey, how you doing? Praga says Ovechkin has been gasping for years. He just looks worn out. I will say this. He's got the most interesting gray pattern I've ever seen. It's like my beard. My beard is striped, right? It's like his hair does the same thing. Hey, Jesse, thank you. Thank you, Jesse. Much appreciated. All right, thank you. Let's see. Coop says better game, but still lines 1 through 3 need to go into that Yahtzee cup for a shake. Yeah. I mean, look, we've gone over it a million times, whether or not Zito's going to make any deals or moves or anything like that. If you guys read the article that George had out talking about how Nick Cousins is considered dirty and all of that. If you look at the quotes from Kachuk and a couple of other guys, um, it definitely that felt like a message to Zito from the guys to say, don't mess with the chemistry. It definitely felt like a message from the players, not from George, but it definitely felt like the players were like, hey, we're happy. We're happy with Cousins. Don't make any moves there. So, I mean, even if we did bring in somebody, you probably see Cousins move down to the fourth line and probably see Gadjevich end up off the ice. Vincent says, well, overrated is a weird concept. I never liked him as a hockey player, but he was excellent at what he does. Yeah, I mean, I kind of took that whole the NHL, those players, that poll. I kind of just took it like as the encompassed the fullness of their career. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody now is thinking Ovechkin is as great as he was. I think it's obvious his play has declined some, but didn't he? He was still killing it last year, right? There you go. Colin says the best trade deadline move was to sign Reinhart and play Samo. Yeah, we ain't going to see him again. Unless somebody gets hurt or suspended, he ain't coming back. We might get lucky and see him get added to the Aces for the playoff race. Mike says, I know Cavs fans got their cup, but how long can they get away with selling the novelty of Ovi scoring as the team's? Yeah, I'm surprised, Mike, that they've hung on as long as they have. But then especially when you look at what Pittsburgh did. I mean, Pittsburgh, they brought in Dubas and they went and got all these guys thinking they were going to, make one last run, and it is just not happening for them. Well, what are they going to do? It's not like they're going to move Ovechkin, you know what I mean? So they're just kind of stuck with that situation until he decides to call it a day, I think. Oh, Mike, you should have seen you should have heard the announcers on the because remember we get the Capitals feed. You should have heard the announcers when he scored. Oh my God, they must have showed the goal from eight different angles. It was obnoxious. As I sat there, I watched the replay. I got up. I'm doing dumbbells, and when I started my pushbacks, they was still showing. There was still showing the replay from every possible angle because it was Ovechkin that scored. Progress says Cousins can do puck retrieval and head manning in the D zone. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But plus, yeah, no, it's not like Cousins is bad. It's just we need the depth scoring. You know what I mean? Somewhere in that bottom six, we need a guy that's gonna, on a semi-nightly basis, get us some points. I know, every time you put somebody up there next to Lundell and Luostarinen, whether it's Cousins or Lomberg, they look good for about 5 minutes. And I kind of felt like we need Sam Miskevich out there on the ice from the perspective of at least he's hungry, right? Think about it that way. His youthfulness could rub off on some of these guys because these guys, they are never going to admit it, but we know, and I know, and we all know that they're just kind of treading water until the playoffs, right? But Sam Miskevich would kind of be out there giving a little bit more energy because he wants to stay on the team. But you live with it, you die with it, right? I'm not going to complain about Maurice, but that's the one thing you're not going to get with Maurice is him throwing young kids out there. So it just is what it is. AJ says it was the duck of a shot. It was weird, AJ. When they showed, I don't know what replays you guys saw, but basically Bob got fooled in the sense that he thought he went down. He went down. And so when the deflection went up, it kind of really made him look foolish. So, hey, Colby, how you doing? Colin wants, would OEL be on the first power play? Here's the thing. This is why I don't mind having Montour on that first power play unit. I know that I know the puck's not going in the back of the net, but Montour and Forsling, those guys have the speed that if the puck ends up past them at the blue line, you're not in trouble. I'm not so sure OEL has the speed. We know Ekblad doesn't. So to me, that's kind of a give and take there, where OEL might be a little bit better offensively right now than Montour, but if the puck gets past guys, at least Montour and Forsling can catch up. Mike says NHL Network is a complete joke that said nothing about the Panthers getting the dub. It was all about Ovechkin getting a goal. Yeah. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Yeah, I'm not reading that. Oh, wait. I saw the first part, but I saw the capitals, so I knew it was sarcasm. Paul, I knew the other shoe was going to drop. You almost got me, but if you hadn't have made it all capitals, Paul, I would have fallen for it. But I knew better. See, I'm getting smarter. Colby says we seem to score way more goals when Bob is in net. That's interesting. I'd have to check on it. There have been a couple of games, I think, that we've lost where Stolarz basically only gave a one or two. I think so. Aaron says OEL should 1,000% be on the first PP unit. He's been doing great most of his career. Sorry, Montour is useless back there. Like I said about Montour in the recap last night. To me, and I'm separating this. I'm not saying defensively, but offensively. Okay, let me put it this way: when Tkachuk, the first beginning of the year, when he wasn't scoring, we could kind of see he wasn't doing the same things. He wasn't really making the plays behind the net. He didn't look like himself. Montour, in terms of his offensive game, it looks like the same guy. It's just the puck's not going in. And whether it's wide, whether it's not getting deflected, whether a lot of his shots are getting blocked too. He may be becoming a little bit too predictable, or he's going to run up to that blue line and just take a shot. I think you might see his assists go up if he was willing to shoot actually less and pass the puck to guys that are at the side of the net. I think teams have kind of caught on to the fact that he's just going to shoot the puck. And between them blocking his shots and, he was never going to be a 73-point player every year. The median is going to show up. Whatever the middle ground is going to show up. And like I said, I've said it a couple of times, the longer that this drought goes on, that's good, because that means when the drought does finally stop, it'll be that much closer to the playoffs. Crowd popped up at the end when Mo changed the lines and reunited Tkachuk, Benny, and Cousins. Yeah, I didn't correlate it to that on my end because they didn't, we didn't get Randy and Goldie. Praga, yeah, Montour's he's trying a little bit too hard. Yeah, no doubt there. Colby says, yeah, we're tight with Stolarz. Looks like the 94-95 doubles. Hey, look, at least we have the ability to play now. I mean, we're giving up 1 or 2 goals a game for the most part. Chris says, anyone notice Stolarz did not give up a goal last night? No, I hadn't noticed that. Metal Coaster says the last game felt like mid-December when we got dozens of grade A chances and couldn't score. Hopefully some work can be done because the Avs, so they don't think last night's game will work against them. No, look, where are the Avs in the playoffs, in the playoff race? Because to me, that's the difference right now in terms of how teams are going to play. Where's Colorado? So the Avalanche is fighting for first place in their division, but in terms of playoff spot, they're about as comfortable as we are. So you never know. You never know the effort that they're going to give. I mean, the biggest thing for me right now, to be honest with you, is I wish the playoffs could start right now because we are as healthy as we're healthy. We're healthy, right? We kind of know we're going to, win 2, lose 1, whatever it's going to be the rest of the way. We're pretty much locked into the 2nd seed unless something, astronomical happens. So for me, kind of, wait for the last kind of 5-10 games, get the groove going, and we're just kind of treading water until then. Let me see. Hold on a second. I missed a couple of things here. Hold on. Okay. Vince says that's the problem. They don't look good, but they're winning. These games show you issues. Linebender is just to show that something's missing. Man, if they were out there playing with their full complement of energy, I would agree with you, Vincent. But they're just not. I mean, they're like at 70, maybe 80%. You see them turn it on for a few minutes every night, and then they turn it off. I've said it multiple times. I really feel like once we get into the playoffs, that they're just going to flip that switch. And we've seen them. We know they have that switch. We know they have that ability. It's like every once in a while they check. Does the breaker still work? It still works. Okay, shut it down again. All right, let's see. Coop says, I predict trade deadline will come and go. Doubt we make any moves. However, I don't see 13 re-signing with us before July 1st. Feel like he's going to test the market and get a big payday from his home. Let's put it this way. You have to be wrong. You have to be wrong, Coop, because we've got to get him signed to know what kind of money we're giving everybody else. We've got to get him signed. Mike says Tom Wilson crying like a baby, gets away with cursing at the officials, slamming his stick, smashing the penalty box door. Yep. They showed that last night. Yep. All right, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Al says he thinks I'm right about the East taking the cup this year. The West looked unstoppable with Canucks, Knights, Jets, Oilers, Nats for a while. But everybody's cracked a bit. Tell you, I view this time of year a little bit differently than I used to. And this is like basically the first year that the Panthers have ever been in this position where we're just kind of looking at the schedule going, can we start the playoffs now? I mean, even at this point last year, there was no, other than my dumb ass sitting here every day saying we were going to win the cup, there was no thoughts of making the playoffs, right? We were just scratching and clawing, hoping that we could. Now the President's Trophy season, we knew by now that we were going to be in, but we all had our doubts about the sustainability of our level, of that style of play. So really, this is the first time really ever in our franchise history where we're just kind of like watching the calendar, watching the clock and going, all right, let's just, tweak a couple of minor little things and get moving, Yeah, Craig says they're on autopilot. The guys bought into the system, and I doubt they want to make any deadline. I mean, if somebody wants to give us, like, there's not going to be a knock on wood, but there should not be any, we gave up a first in Samoskevich or even either or. There should not be any heavy duty moves. Right? Because when you look at the guys that are out there, do they make the difference in this team winning the cup or not? No, because there's 3 things that are going to make the difference in us winning a cup. Okay. Playoff Kachuk. All right. Playoff Bob and defensive depth and health. As long as we get those 3 things, that's what's going to make the, we got guys who can put the puck in the back of the net. The depth scoring hasn't been great, but to change the chemistry and make a move, I don't know. X said in post game something like nobody can play like that all year. It's extremely tough. That's why we lay an egg sometimes, but it's how we have to play in the playoffs and develop good habits. Yeah. So what do we got? 28 games left now, right? So you figure, it's still February, right? So you figure February, the first half of March, we're going to scroll on autopilot for a while. And then they'll start ramping it up a little bit more. we have some games coming up. Let's look at the schedule. That's one thing we haven't done in a while. Let me get to it here. So we've got Colorado tomorrow. That's a 6:00 game. Okay. Then we don't play again till Wednesday. So that's it. So it's just the 3 games. That's right. Okay. And then we don't play again until Wednesday. We play Wednesday, Thursday. So we're off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then we're back to back. Right. So we got the Avalanche, and then we go back out on the road, and that's when we've got the Penguins, the Sabres, Lightning, and then we come back home for the Senators, go back out on the road, Hurricanes, come back at home against the Capitals, Sabres, Canadians. So there's some games coming up here where we can we should expect to be getting some points in some of these games kind of on autopilot, kind of how we did last night, to be honest. Yeah, I think Benning is gone. Yeah. Markstrom deserved heart recognition after dragging the Flames back into the playoffs conversation. They're so shit without him. They're probably still going to move on from him. Are the Flames really in playoff? Are they really? 54, 54, 59, 56, 53. Nah, they're barely breathing. The Flames are 3 points out of the Kings, but the Kings got 3 games in hand, and the Oilers have 5 games in hand. The Flames are pretty they're pretty burnt. They're pretty toasty. They're pretty crisp. Yeah, there you go. Progress says Markstrom might end up in Colorado, Toronto, or Carolina. Yeah, that would be. We don't want to see him over on this side. Stay over on the other side. Stay in the Western Conference, right? Mike says excuse me. If Florida trades for somebody, making a guy who's in his prime 25 to 29 last year with the deal, can finish plays, loves physical play, and is capable of being a complete psycho. Who's out there that fits that bill? Who's out there that fits that bill? That's interesting. You're not wrong there. Yeah, exactly. Aaron says, who's that though, right? Right. Oh, Ben, you're thinking of Riley. No, Riley is with another team. Riley's definitely gone. Right? Because we faced Riley. Riley's playing for another team. Oh, geez, Trace. Oh, Trey. Was that a setup? Mike, did you set up Trey for his Oh, what's my score prediction for the Super Bowl? Any San Francisco anything, the Chiefs nothing. Just as long as the Chiefs don't win, I will retain my salary. That's right, Ed. He's with the Islanders. Yeah. Look, that's the thing. Even if we picked anybody up, we're giving up assets for a rental. And what assets? Who do you want to give up? Right? So mainly before, and I personally called Bill and I told him, I said, you're not allowed to make any deals until you sign Reinhart. You just can't. You just can't, because you don't know you got to know what you're going to pay Reinhart to be able to look down the list of the future in a few years and try to slot guys in salary wise to know who you're willing to give up now for a rental. I have a feeling, to be honest with you, I think that they're just going to add another mid guy that can, like a Gadjevich, another Cousins, I think that's what they're going to add, to be honest, is another experienced guy like that to give us one more tool in the toolkit in case somebody gets hurt. I know that they offered Kane a contract. They offered Perry. So they're obviously, looking, but, bargain basement minimum wage type stuff, right? Riley Smith. Mike says first and prospects don't matter at all when you're in win mode. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. The firsts you can't just trade them all though. You know what I mean? Technically, I don't disagree with you. The problem is we've already thrown a bunch of firsts at the cup. You know what I mean? A couple years ago and came up empty-handed. You know, at some point you have to have started to develop guys. You know what I mean? And we don't have. When's the next first we have to give up anyway? You know what I mean? I would be less concerned about giving up a first than a player. I do not want to give up Sam Miskevich or Sordik. Now, I see a couple guys saying Pat Maroon. Wouldn't that be something interesting, right? Wouldn't that? I mean, he kind of fits the bill, right? It would be tough to root for Pat Maroon on this team. I mean, as a Dolphin fan, I remember when Thurman Thomas joined the Dolphins. And it was like, it didn't feel right, man. Okay. It just didn't feel right. Hearing our guys calling Thurman Thomas takes the handle. It just was, I didn't like it. Yeah. And that's Jesse's got a good point there about Phil Kelsel and our system and everything, right? Pat Maroon is like Kachuk, great for the morale and intensity to play. He just had back surgery. Yeah, well, then he's out. Right? Meadow says, I'll be at the Colorado game and either be a thriller or a depressor. Well, it just depends on how many minutes they decide to play. You know what I mean? Chris says, playing Tampa in the first round, going to Amalie with Maroon. I don't know if Tampa's going to be how's that looking? How's that whole situation looking? The Leafs have 60 points. Man, Tampa's not catching them. Especially now with Sergachev out. Tampa's a point behind the Leafs, but the Leafs have 3 games in hand. No, we're playing. I mean, it is as close to written in stone as it's going to get. It is definitely my money is on Panthers Leafs in the first round. That's just great. We get the team that most wants. Well, not the most. Either way, we're going to play a team that wants our ass, right? I would be very surprised. Toronto would have to just they're going to have to tank it to get that third spot, or excuse me, to get the fourth spot and have Tampa moved up. Hey, guys, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Mike, they like Barbashev so much. That's why they got rid of Riley Smith, right? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? I think that's the guy I'm thinking of, right? Hey, Christian. Or maybe one of the 3 Russians on Columbus, Marchenko, maybe. Killhorn would be good. Don't know. Yeah. I mean, look, there's a few guys out there, but then there's also, Chris knows about this. Chris Greger knows these details. Then there's also, you still have to take into consideration what the cap that we're taking on. You know what I mean? I know it's prorated and you can get the other team to take the cap and everything like that. I mean, I think our next first round pick is not even until next year or the year after, right? I says your gift went to it doesn't tell me, eyes. Maxine Mammon. Oh, that would, yeah, let that's okay, eyes. Where's the Vegas fan? It doesn't show me on StreamYard who got it. Yeah. Hey, I mean, look, if Killhorn is still scoring and plays good D, Kane, I don't know if Kane can play our system though, Rosado. That's the thing. And I kind of pissed in him anyway, because he decided he thought Detroit was a better go than us as it was. Yeah. He says Vegas 0803. I didn't even see him here in the chat. That's weird. I'm looking. I didn't even see that. That's so weird. I wonder if everybody in the chat is already a member. That's interesting. Huh. It's forcing the Panthers' best D man. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, Ekblad is not a liability like he has been in years past. That's good. He's definitely playing more within himself. I'm really happy with the defense. There's nothing to complain about with the defense. We've got the depth. I would like to see get a couple of these guys in to get a game in or a game here or there. When's like Balinskis he's not in concussion protocol, right? He wasn't because he hasn't played in a while. He hasn't played in a while. Rosal, you say you got a membership when you wasn't in the chat. I thought it went to people that were in the chat, but I guess it's possible I could have been wrong. Oh, Balinskis got sent down. Well, no, that's an interesting name there, Prague, isn't Marcia? So Vegas always bitching that the Cats let him go. You take him back. He's on the last year of his deal. The Vegas ain't selling. Wouldn't that be crazy, right? That would I wouldn't want to know what their price tag would be anyway. Trey, you're not able to gift memberships for some reason? That's strange. Yeah, James, there's no way that would happen. Well, look, right now the most important thing is everybody knocking on wood. No, that's just me, Fluffy. That's just yeah, Vegas isn't selling. Everybody just stay healthy. So Balinskis is in Charlotte. Okay, I must have missed that. But he's still like. Then who's 7D? Who do we have up as 7D? We've had so many guys coming and going. I've lost track. I've totally lost the guy's name, but Paul says, the Panthers just signed. Marie said it in the news conference yesterday. Yeah, Mahura. Yeah, duh. Yeah, Mahura. Okay. I actually like Balinskis better than Mahura, though. Huh. Maybe the idea is hide Balinskis in the AHL and Mahura could be a piece that we'd eventually move, right? Have I looked at the We Are the World documentary on Netflix? No. Colin and I saw a preview for it. But no. Let's see. I says I can only give memberships. I lost it. I can only give memberships in the web browser for some reason. On your iPad, it says you can only do super chats. That's weird. That's odd. Who did we sign yesterday? Balinskis has more size. Yeah, Mahura is the same size as Carlson. I'm still surprised nobody ever picked up Carlson, but Mahura has not impressed. So supposedly a left wing who is tough. I haven't seen it. Are you sure? Was it a let's see if I can find it. Let's see. No, that's just. I'm looking at, CBS Sports wouldn't happen. Oh, Joshua Date. We signed Kyle to a special consultant. He said his name was Christopher. Don't know if that's the last name or the first name. Yeah, usually, I mean, because I'm subscribed to George, so usually, you get an article, you get a notification, at least I do, when he, if we would have signed somebody, usually he would have produced an article, but I haven't seen that. I'll have to look at it. Yeah, Cap Friendly, James, is very very slow to update. We'll put it that way. That's where you heard it on the conference of Florida Hockey Now. All right, I'll have to check it out. I didn't ever have time to watch the stuff. I'm too busy Too busy. Oh, by the way, thank you all for buying so many flags overnight. You guys have still been buying them this morning. So I got majority of them shipping out today. That's what I was doing all morning. So much appreciated on that. That was I knew I had that case around here somewhere, but we couldn't find it at the end of last year. So I ended the listing because I had no more. Excuse me. And kind of it works out better now because now instead of having just sold like one or two a week over the whole course of the year and that money being gone, now everybody wants to buy it because it's the last ones and now the electric bill will get paid. So it kind of worked out that I lost it until I found it. Jesse says, I randomly watched one of Steve Dangle's videos and he was saying how former Leafs score in the Leafs more than any other team. Something funny to think about. Yeah, it's I over the summer, one of the first videos I made was a team of former Florida Panthers. And I set rules and I set certain parameters, like it couldn't be somebody that we had just lost that offseason or whatnot. The team was actually pretty good. It was weird because they fit under the salary cap like a real NHL team. But the team, it wasn't so bad, right? I mean, it was like Trocheck with Marchessault and Huberdeau and Tippett with Krause. And I forget who, Bukestad was on there. The defense wasn't so good. The goaltending in the forwards was like NHL, like almost playoff team worthy. But the defense wasn't, the defense was not good. I think Uyghur and I can't think of who the other guy on the top pair was, but it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. Yeah, Tippett didn't score on us. Thank God, right? Trey, yeah, no, I appreciate. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah, the book is $35. I see $5 because it's like $17 just for Amazon to print it. Like my cost. Like if I buy a book, it's $17. And then so they take the other 17 and they subtract like $5 for shipping or whatever it is. And then they give me 40% of what's left of all of that. So it's just like, yeah, the book is not a moneymaker. Authors are not rich. Nobody getting rich on you got to sell a lot of books on Amazon to get rich. You could sell 1,000 books. And I mean, like if I would have priced the book $29.90 something, whatever, I would have made like 40 cents a book. It was bad, man. Petrovic, that's a good question, Chris. I have to go back and look at that video. I'm not sure if he was on the list or not, because I think it had to be guys that had played at least in the NHL the previous year. Like Pesic didn't play. I think it was Pesic didn't play. So he wasn't on the team. J.K. Rowling is available to get her on the podcast. Eyes, because it takes 5 to 6 weeks to ship because Amazon prints them up. It's custom, right? It's not like they print them to order. So it's not like when I produce the book, they print off 100 copies and then send them to people. They don't do that. They wait until they've got, however many people order within a month, and then they'll print that many. And then if only one person orders, then they got to print one book. That's their problem, not mine. But yeah, it's not like they print up like even 50 and then, take from that when they ship it. It's like a sub sandwich. They print it to order. Mike says, what if the Wild sell? How about Joel Eriksson Ek? Well, that'd be cool to have a guy, Eriksson Ek and Ekman Larson, say that 5 times fast. What if they had a play together? Eriksson Ek to Ekman Larson. Try to say that 5 times fast. Petro's in the AHL. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Praga says the word on Duke is no D. The Ducks even benched him. Yeah, I mean, look, Duke is who he was, what he was. I mean, we saw him play last year, kind of buy in a little bit. Um, it's such a shame because he's got such offensive upside, but you got to be playing pretty bad on defense to get benched by the Ducks. That's pretty bad. But at the same time, right? We're not going to give him the Gudis treatment because it's not like he chose, right? It's like one day he was here in Florida, and then the next day, he was the Ducks. It's not like he chose, kind of like Huberto, right? I don't want for Toronto back. I don't want for Toronto back. He's apparently, from what I was told, he still takes the stupid penalty every game. And I think he did in our game too. I think in the game where we played him. So no, he would fit our style, but we don't need another guy that's going to take a penalty every night. We already got Nick Cousins. Yeah, every game. Yeah, he's a shoot first guy. There's no doubt about that. But geez, we already get called for so many penalties as it is. Grandpa Jaws. What about Grandpa Jaws? What about my dad? What did I miss? I'm not going to be a grandpa. What did I miss? No. There you go, Mike. How about no former Panthers? How about that? Stop with the nostalgia. Not having. Come on, you want Yager back. Come on. Can you imagine Yager trying to play this system? Oh my God. Can you imagine Yager trying to play it in Maurice's system? I mean, he was, Kyle and his date with Grace. Okay. At some point, there's going to be a Kindle version over the summer. I'm going to do a Kindle version, and I'm going to do an audio book over the summer. But obviously I don't have time to get all that together now. But yeah, over the summer I'm gonna do that. Mike still says no former Panthers. I bet you I could find one that you'd take. Oh, see now it's a challenge, right? I don't know about Trocheck. Trocheck's kind of. I mean, Trocheck. Can you imagine? Like, I don't think there's enough room in the locker room for Trocheck and Kachuk's ego. I don't think there's enough room in the locker room for both of those guys, right? Yeah, that's the guy, Marcel. I take him back. He's a winner. The rest are losers. Let's see. Are they all? That's a little harsh on Nick Bukestad, Mike. That's a little harsh on Bukestad. I wouldn't want him back. But it's funny because I heard, was it Randy a couple broadcasts ago that said that would be like one of the type of guys that they would bring back as like a Nick Bukestad. He's not a loser. That's a bit harsh. Oh, come on now. That ain't right. Nick Bukestad, if nothing else, he's not a loser. He's just a big, do you ever see the movie? Mike, you ever seen the movie Apocalypto? If you ever seen the movie Apocalypto, and you got the big dude, right? The big guy, and he can't get his woman pregnant, right? And the grandmother says, you have fooled us all with your size, right? Because he can't get the girl pregnant. You fooled us all. That's Nick Bukestad. He was this big strapping, and then he played like a puppy dog. But I can't call him a loser. Bukestad doesn't know the word hard if it hit him in the face. Poor guy. Chris would definitely take Branson back. Yeah. Giovanni Smith. Yeah, Lawson Krause. That's the one. That's the one guy who definitely would have fit. See what you did now, Mike? Now the only players anybody talk about is former Panthers. Oh, man. All right. Garpenloff. Giovanni Smith. Julian says, who's the face of the franchise excluding Kachuk, Sasha, Bobby? Let me see. If you take out Kachuk, Barkov, and Bubba, I would have to agree with you in a sense that Verhage is like the anomaly, right? Because you've got all these guys that hit you and they play hard and they play physical and they play right. And then you've got Verhage who kind of really doesn't do any of that, but what he does is the perfect complement to what all of the other guys do. So yeah, I would kind of agree with you on Verhage. The only thing is that it's Ekblad's face that's on the glass at the front of the arena. So that tells us how the team sees him. Fluffy. Yeah, who's Praga Ekblad's on the arena, right? Right? Mike says, ever buy peas at the grocery store? Goody and Bukestad are the guys that Nick. Chris, I know. Gloss and Kraus did not have to. I know. We agree there. Ain't that the truth, right? Stephen Weiss. Let's find out. Let's see what Stephen Weiss is doing. Probably coaching his kids. Let's see. Let's find out. All right, let's see what he's doing. Maybe he's coaching his team, coaching his son's team or something. What's he doing now? Come on. He 5'11", $180. Let's see. It doesn't tell me. His Wikipedia page doesn't tell me anything he's doing right now. Nope. Nothing. So it doesn't say anything like he's a coach or anything like that. Here's an article from 4 years ago. Nothing. NBC Sports. Nothing. Nothing about whatever he's doing. Greeting people away, right? He made a couple of bucks though, Mike. His contract wasn't all that bad. Because it said it here. His last contract was 5 years and $24.5 million. So, I mean, if he didn't spend it all, he's probably on his boat fishing somewhere, laughing at us. You know what I mean? If that was his last contract, was $25 million. So I suspect he seemed like a pretty smart guy. He probably don't have to do too much anything. Probably, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I know if I made 25 million in my late 30s, yeah, it was with the Wings. Yeah. His contract was good. So he's probably resting and relaxing, right? Mike says Weiss is doing something non-hockey related. His torturous tenure with the Panthers killed his love for the game, right? Coop said whoever said Trocheck should be banned. Oh man. Yeah, for those who don't know, because I saw somebody's comment, as I said, I talked about ego, and somebody said Trocheck had an ego. I wasn't sure if somebody was being sarcastic or not. But when he did not get the C and Barkov did, he was less than pleased. We'll put it that way. Julian says, I hope he re-signed Carter. The odds of keeping Reinhart, Carter, and Bennett seem low. There's exit doors there, Julian. As much of a decision we had to make this year, next year's decision, that's the one that Zito really is going to have a tough time with, because Ekblad's going to be running out of his deal too. So if you're Bill Zito, are you going to be able to sell to the fans that we're going to pay Ekblad and it's going to cost us Verhage? No, right? The only way anybody's going to listen to that is if we already have hardware. You know what I mean? I feel the same way, Bill. I'm sure or Mike. I'm sure they're gonna make it work somehow, some way. There's a lot of different exit. There's a lot of different exits. You know what I mean? Like I said, any one player that we move on from, and we have the money basically for everybody else. So, like, if we don't re-sign Montour, if we don't fill his salary hole, that gives us for the next year, right? You know what I mean? We can sign everybody if the plan is to just let Ekblad go. If the plan is to just get rid of Ekblad, everybody can get a contract, and they don't even really have to take much of a pay cut. So there's ways out of it. You know what I mean? Because there's certain players, Reinhart, Bennett, Verhaeghe, in terms of offensively, those are guys you need to be able to keep. Yeah, exactly, Mike. We don't have Trox Martin and his band. Oh boy. Yeah. Don't get me started. No, we're in good shape. And it does help that some of these guys, like Reinhart, who's the other guy that we got from Buffalo? Who's the other guy we got from Buffalo? It wasn't just Reinhart. Somebody remind me, who's the other player? Oh, it was Montour, right? Montour played for Buffalo, right? So, yeah. So they know what it's like to play on a crappy team in a cold weather location. That's the point I'm trying to make. So that kind of helps. That gives Bill, it's like, you want to go back to Buffalo? It's like, no, what do I need to sign? You know what I mean? What do I need to sign? So we'll be good. All right, everybody. My voice is going out on me. I got to do a video with Trey. This will conclude this one. Yeah, Bennett, the same thing. He knows. Yeah, exactly. Just send them video of Huberto in Calgary. This could happen to you. All right. You want this to happen to you? No, they'll sign whatever they want, right? Bennett's like, I don't know if Bennett's going to get the thing that's going to help us with Bennett is he doesn't score a lot. You know what I mean? He means a lot to our team. He's a prime piece that we need on that line, but he doesn't score a lot. So we may be able to get away with paying him a little bit less. Yeah, Huberto's a completely different human. And who I can't blame him. Look, all joking set aside, like when you join the military, right? When you join the military, at any given moment, it's like, hey, we're moving to Korea, right? That's coming. Now, Jonathan Huberto had no reason. It can happen. But he had no reason to expect on a Friday night at 11:30 to get a call, be like, hey, guess what? Pack your shit for Calgary. He had no reason to even have that in his life radar, So I kind of, he's financially stable, right? But his love for the game, yeah. It's a tough thing because that's what got him that contract. But shoveling snow in Calgary can't be fun. So, all right, everybody, that's going to do it. Now tomorrow we'll be doing our normal thing before the game. Obviously, 1/2 hour before the game. The review for tomorrow's game will be noon on Sunday. And then Kyle and I will be live with Super Bowl over there on the football channel. And then I'll try to have something in the in-between because I know there's no hockey Monday and Tuesday. So I'll try to have something out on Monday and Tuesday because we don't play again between Saturday and Wednesday. So, all right, that'll do it. Trey, 5 minutes, brother. 5-minute warning. All right, everybody. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all buying all the flags. I got to go finish packing them up now. It's good, though. Much appreciated. Love you all. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, Mike. You too, brother.